Hello, my name is Dave, and I am a coach and storyteller. And today, one of the stories I'd like to tell you about is about a series of books that I'm writing. I'm calling them my 6-pack of A to Z books. And today I wanted to talk to you about one of them in particular, Parenting Tips from a Dude, a.k.a. Dad from A to Z. So this is a trailer. So my son told me, Dad, you should make a trailer. So I've got a whole bunch of playlists on my YouTube channel, one for each of my books. Those are my books in the back over there. And I've got all kinds of other things as well. So I've got a whole bunch of playlists. One of them is called Parenting Tips from a Dude, a.k.a. Dad. And this is my trailer. So I want to explain to you a little bit what that book is about. You're going to see there's going to be eventually 26 YouTube videos from A to Z. And these are basically, each one of these is going to be a tip from this dad to other dads and moms and to my kids when they are moms and dads later on. It's kind of a present from me to them. And there's a whole lot of mothers who contributed to this as well, especially my own mother, my mom. I have a lot to thank you, Mom, so much to owe her for helping me to be what I consider to be a great dad. So thanks, Mom. A proud dad, let's put it that way. Being a father's the most rewarding role of my life and the most important role to me as well. So that's why I picked that as one of the topics for my A to Z books. So before I go through that a little bit, I just want to give you a little bit like, where did all these A to Z books come from? I'm writing them. It's in the progress right now. I'm writing 6 of them. Again, you can kind of see them on the wall. So how did I come about the A to Z concept, and how did I come about trying to write 6 of them at the same time with everything else I've got going? So very quickly, I'll give you a little bit of the history on that, and then I'll get into the other book. So this is a book that a fellow writer wrote. Her name's Sally Morgan. It was my cousin who introduced me to Sally's writing in her book, An Alphabet of Men, Dating My Way from Adam to Zach. So she's gone in there and she's picked out all these different dates she had gone through from the alphabet from A to Z. Adam and Zach. I really like the book. I've been dating as well over the last, on and off over the last 5 years. And even though supposedly Sally wrote this for women, I find it very helpful for me to understand a little bit around that process. And then the ideator in me, that's one of my top strengths, is I came up with the idea, I would like to do some A to Z books. So I thought the first one is feeling my feelings. So I've been struggling with feeling my feelings. I was never learned, how to feel one's feelings, and I kind of suppressed them. Or as the comedian Bill Burr said, I put them on a shelf in my chest. So at 50 years old, I wanted to take them out of there and figure out how they worked. And it's taken me a while. And I think probably the easiest way to do it is to put together a book around feeling my feelings from A to Z. I'm going to go through and get all these feelings and what they feel like, come up with a moment when I felt it, try and describe what they feel like and what were they trying to tell me. So what was the gift of all of those feelings? So for those of you who've done a Myers-Briggs, I'm ENFP. So hence all the stuff all over the place. So we like to chase after shiny objects and the whole bit. So I was telling my artistic director, Michelle, about my idea of a book. And I said, you had the colors and the A to Z, and one day I'd like to write that. So anyway, she turns around and designs the cover. She'd never done a cover book before, sends it to me. So I'm not charging you for this because she does my artwork. Because I just wanted to do it. I wanted to learn. I wanted to give that as a gift. So all of a sudden it's, holy cow, I've got the cover of the book. I'm going to start writing it. And then within I think a 4-week period, it's like, oh, well, I've been searching for my soulmate for like 6 years. I'm going to do a search for my soulmate. And, there's so many people out there who are unhappily married right now. I'm going to write something about that. So all of a sudden I ended up with a 6-pack of books. And one of them, of course, was the parenting one. So very quickly, it's hard for me even to keep track of them right now. So here's my list. I'm just going to tell you what they are. They're all a work in progress. I first start off by coming at, the cover page, and then I kind of work backwards. I've got on my iPhone all these lists with all the A's and B's and C's down there, and I pop them in there as they come to mind. And then what I want to do is take them and put together a YouTube video, kind of process it and flesh it out. And then eventually, I'll write a book, but I'll actually have a video book in the process. That's the approach. We'll see how it goes. I'm at the letter A today, and at ENFP, we don't go in order. So I'll do whatever letter I want to do, whatever book. But today, Father's Day is coming up, so I'm doing this one. So here are my 6 books. Finally feeling my feelings from A to Z. Yes, men have feelings too. So I kind of explained the approach there. I want to go through and pick 26 feelings from the alphabet A to Z. My search for my soulmate from A to Z. Yes, I still believe in soulmates. It's my definition of a soulmate, which, by the way, isn't the Hollywood ending. Everything's all hunky dory. It's a whole different ball game. There's a lot of work involved. The A to Z, or what are the attributes of that type of relationship? And the opposite almost is unhappily married, A to Z. So there's a lot of people out there right now who I find have kind of given up hope. They're coming out of relationships that have, over many years. I'm 57, so a lot of the people who I'm dating with and the people I'm hanging around with, it's a whole different ball game out there. So I'm hoping that they can learn from that when they move into another relationship. Or some people look at the relationship and figure, hey, this is a way that I can actually, let's work on this and see if we can turn things around. And as I like to say, it takes two to tango. So both of you need to be tangoing in the Search for the Soulmate book and the Unhappily Married book. The parenting, I'm going to talk about that in a sec. The midlife entrepreneur, from A to Z, it's all a matter of mindset. And I would say it's never too late to do whatever you want. I was I was getting my paycheck for the longest time, and now here I am. I've started my own business when I was 50. So it's been quite the journey. And at the end of the day, to me, it wasn't the skills and experience, it was the mindset. So from A to Z, what are the different types of mindset it takes to be able to do that? And the nasty behaviors of some pretty nasty leaders. So I'm a big fan of, working on our soft skills and honing our soft skills. And one of my YouTube channels is Kicking Ass with Your Soft Skills. So one of the soft skills of leadership. Sometimes I find we learn better from horror stories. So I thought I'd come up with, instead of what are the traits of a great leader, is come up with, from A to Z, what are the nasty behaviors of some nasty leaders, come up with a little story on that. And then, what are we learning from that type of behavior? I'm hoping people are going to take the book, learn from that too, and do the opposite. We have enough nasty leaders out there to go around. So quickly, back to the book, back to my trailer, back to the parenting tips from a dude, a.k.a. dad, from A to Z. So as I say, I'm going to go through and come up with 26 tips. I'm calling them tips for things to do with as a parent. It's from a dude, it's from a dad. I'm that dude, I'm that dad, but it's not just my tips. And my tips, I've learned these from all kinds of other people, from my mother, from other mothers, from my sister, from friends, from other fathers, from other mothers, from doing all kinds of reading. And I want to talk to my kids. So my kids are going to be in there. I'd like to get some feedback on them and other kids as well. So as I go through this and fleshing this out, I'm going to come up with all these different letters, which I'm going to share. And part of the challenge is it's not necessarily coming up with letters from A to Z, because some of the letters are a little bit trickier. It's narrowing it down to 26. So I've got like maybe 3 or 4 in a tie for A. A friend of mine had said, hey, Dave, what you might want to do is every once in a while, just go, it's like a horse race, go in there, your 6 books. And this is Tyra who mentioned this to me, and just go in there and, do a count. So I think at some of my books, I'm supposed to have 26. I'm at like 70. So a lot of work to go. But at the end of the day, these are areas, these are topics that I am passionate about. This is the way that an ENFP explores different concepts and shares them, and a storyteller as well, because as I'm going through and learning and processing and connecting with people, I love connecting with people. I also get to tell stories about it. So there you go. Shane, I'm going to let you know that I made this trailer, and you can get back to me and tell me if this is what you had in mind. What's great is if it's not, I can just reshoot it. All right. Cheers. Thanks. And enjoy the book. And again, if you go to my YouTube channel, I've got all my different playlists on there, all my different books and a whole bunch of other stuff, including the Kicking Ass with Your Soft Skills. It's like sharing with you all kinds of different ways that you can go out there, your leadership style, communication style. I'm gonna have to put a parenting style on there as well, now that I think of it. So many out. Cheers. Bye.